Live. We're live now, Wes.
I can't even hear it. There's Basil.
Of the Toffees.
There's Basil.
What a win.
Evertonians.
Where are you?
Red shite. We're not live yet. We're not
What are you
live
doing with
yet.
them?
Calm down.
We
Where
are.
is everyone?
We're live. We're live.
We're not live yet.
We are.
Let's
There's
all
30
settle
people.
down.
I think Jan's coming on as well. Where's Jan? Is Jan in the background? Ryan, bring
I
him
thought
in.
Corey was coming on.
I think so. It's live, Ryan. It's live.
I'm live.
Yeah, what did you make of that?
Oh, it says on my phone, go live. Well, but I'm not live.
No, it is. It's live.
It's live. It's live. It's live. Hey. We're live here from New York City in the Chairmail Bar.
Is that where you are? New
We are
York. Wow.
in New York.
You enjoying that then? Home from home. Don't know how good his signal is that. Or is it us, Ryan? Camera's all fucked as well. Look, the camera's all fucked. Can you hear us? You can't hear us and you can hear.
You know, all the Blues have got off. Happy with the 3 points.
Really? They're not celebrating?
Maybe like me, had one too many pints, Basil.
I needed a few points after I saw that team lineup.
I didn't think we was getting anything from that game, I'll be honest.
No, I thought this is going to be another dry watch like the other day. There's
I
Jan.
thought I thought it was a containment sort of game. But I'll take the 3 points.
What a win. What a 3 point.
Yeah. Done the double over dice. Double over dice. We've done the double over dice.
5-0 over Dyche. Doesn't even score 5 goals under Dyche. And
Right,
Evertonians, he said that he's getting sacked.
we're up to 8th now
Yeah, we're up
for
to 8,
Lions.
but we're only 3 points off 14th.
You're live on Facebook. Up the toffees. Got thousands coming live from New York, folks. Right, I'm going to duck out because these are all gobshites. Not the Evertonian gobshites. These gobshites here. Right, have a good one. Speak to you
All
soon.
right. Thanks.
Ta-ra, Basil.
Try and come on the stream because I've got. Hello? It's like it's frozen out the stream. Is Jan Ryan? On my screen, it's just like where's his frozen? Doesn't look like anything's loading. Can you verify it's working? Is it working? What? Come on the stream, Ryan. Ryan's refusing to come on the stream. Leaving me on my own.
Welcome to Follow Everton. I am Basil.
Right, well, that was an interesting start to the stream with Wes. All right, Corey.
Alright, mate, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well after that. Didn't have to watch a boring game for once.
Oh, great, wasn't it, mate? I was not expecting that. When we seen the team sheet and heard the news that Alcaraz is out, Keane is out,
Oh
and
God.
Grealish still on the bench, I thought the worst. And do you know what, mates? Before these two games, I'd have took 4 points anyway. Now taking into account the amount of players that we've had out, I think absolutely buzzing, lad, innit?
Yeah, you just broke up our end. I think shitty internet. Right, can't do a stream because he's got no internet. Yeah,
Shit.
I thought this is either going to be like what a really frustrating, boring game where we're going to berate the lack of squad depth, or somehow the backs to the walls sort of United performance where they realise they're against it and they've got to the players on the pitch have got to basically step up, and they did that. Uh, Massive performances across the team today. Some really good individual performances, but generally a solid team performance. Really worked hard for that result.
Yeah, I still think it was a bit of a back to the wall kind of job, but I think that worked more in our favour compared to Burnley, because Burnley probably wanted to have more of the ball but couldn't do anything with it. Whereas probably the same to be said for Forest, but whenever they went to attack and we just let them attack, it meant that they were really poor on the counter attack, like they were easy to break against. So it just played it well into our favour, didn't it?
It did, but I wouldn't say I was nerveless during that second half. I was just letting them have a lot of the ball, letting them play, and they did have their chances. The XG was nearly 2 for them, and it was actually 1.4 for us. So on that note, they were the best side, but obviously it was a part of us controlling, in effect, the game by sitting off them and picking our moments. You
And
can't really fault that now.
I think part of it as well is we were just happy to be narrow, let them go out wide. How many times did they sign with balls in against two big
Yeah,
rocks, and Tarkowski and O'Brien, who I think both of them, especially O'Brien, fair play to him. He was brilliant in the air today. Good on the ground as well.
yeah, those two centre backs just were outstanding today. They just dealt with everything. We wanted them to put those crosses in and just say, "Come on, come and try and come and try and out jump us, because we're not going to let you have it." And Tarkovsky was shielding everything and
It's a
getting in
bit of a
front of
risky
his man.
strategy. It's a risky strategy to play that, though, because although we've defended well, there have been multiple times when we've been out-muscled by much shorter teams. It paid off, but at times it hasn't. And I'm glad that we desperately needed that second goal and we got it.
I think they've got, because there was no Chris Wood, though, they still had like Igor Jesus is okay, but he's not a major target man. So, and I think we've seen it before when Dyche was in charge of us. If a team sat back and went narrow, we couldn't do anything with it. We didn't like having the ball, so we get the ball wide, cross it in, and nothing had happened with it. And it's pretty much what's happened again today. But this time, the other team got Dyche, and obviously we've took advantage of it. Like, I get where you're coming from, and I wouldn't like us to be defensive all the time, but we've literally just gone to Forest and gone, who blinks first, go on, attack us, and we'll ping it back straight at you.
It was very good to see us be a lot sharper. Irabunan was on the ball. Merlin Roll did well. Dibbling did, I think, very well to grow into it, and a lot of players have progressively grown into their role and earned a position that I think they only got by dint of being the only player of a first team quality. For example, Mikolenko. Would we really have expected to have? Obviously, certain players have been out, but would we have expected to have relied or have depended on Keane as we have done? And then Jake O'Brien to be so shaky, like you say, it's nice to see us go to Forest, who have been capable of turning it on and scoring quite a few goals, and for us to just be determined not to capitulate and to actually have some intent to play football. It was really good.
Yeah, I think, like you've said there, the fact that we've gone through having our first choice centre back out, Tarkowski, then Keane is our fourth choice, and O'Brien in. Like you said, there's players who have got their position out of necessity as opposed to ability, but it's nice to show that maybe when these players are back fit, then there's going to be a lot more competition for places, isn't there? O'Brien, Keane, and Branthwaite all vying for another centre back position. There's only going to push each other on. Dibbling, I think, is fantastic. Like you said, hopefully, when Njai comes past, he forces more effort and the extra couple of percentages out of him as well. So it's
So how's the Moyes out crowd?
That's not me, by the way.
Is there a big Moyes out crowd?
No,
It's just gone
you know what? I hear the odd person say about Moyes out. I see more people saying arguing against the Moyes out crowd than I do the actual Moyes out crowd. He's got his issues, Moyes, and we'll see that a few more times throughout the end of the season. But it's a case of knowing where you're at and what you've got, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing a good job considering the circumstances. They could rule this Arsenal goal out by the looks of it. We've got to talk about James Garner, haven't we?
Are we watching the Arsenal game? I could put it on.
It's on in the background.
I just can't control. I can't control if I switch off my PC. I can't control anything, so I'll just be here talking, and I'll have no idea what's going on the stream. I haven't set up a second monitor yet. Sorry.
A certain ill person sat next to me is watching it, but I thought James Garner had an excellent performance today. I'd probably give him a 10 out of 10. I don't think I could fault it. Like,
wow, hang on. I feel like I might have triggered someone in the. I do apologise. It wasn't directed at anyone. It was just knowing in the last crowd there was a lot of Moyes out. I don't know if that's directed at me there. Sorry.
And Flash has got a good shout there. Elliot Anderson was eclipsed by Garner. Like, Elliot Anderson's been great this season, and he's really shown that, like, proper star quality. He's been Forest's best player. He's been great for England when he's played. Really solid, good on the ball. And Garner, a lot of people have been shouting for him for England, mainly coming from inside the club, which I think has been a bit premature. But Flash is right there. That performance today was unreal. Obviously, his ability on the ball, the goal was fantastic. The ability he's shown was so like world class. I said he's had a world class game, and I don't say that lightly. And it's the way he set up the Tieno Barry goal. He's showing good strength, got the ball, got in front of his man, and then when he just that little cut back, the awareness, the confidence, so that little cut back there, and then not just that, he doesn't take an extra touch. He just lifts his head up. He sees where Tieno Barry is and plays an inch perfect pass into him. Goal and assist, unreal. And he was like that all game. Like, what he's shown going forward on the ball, brilliant. And defensively, he was fantastic. He was the first man to everything. He was a leader. He was an absolute leader there today. Because again, not just doing the silky stuff, but the defensive side of things. There's a point where 2 or 3 times they had the ball, trying to run with the ball through the central midfield, and Garner just come in and done a proper solid challenge. Way more strength and way more like imposingness than he did compared to this time last season.
Do you know people are mentioning it in the comments? Garner, I always consistently have said since he joined us, we've got a player there. Whether we make the most of it, whether he comes into it, whether he earns a spot and works hard, that's a different thing entirely. But people are quite rightly saying, I mean, Mr. Blue Sky says it's hard to disagree. He's been instrumental and he scored some good goals in games. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. And to be fair, he's got caliber and he's got experience and he's always shown that. And I think for me, it's a little bit of what we saw today was more joined up football with certain players that look. I'll forgive a lack of skill if you try or if you're constantly running and chasing and doing the right things that need to be done, the fundamentals, even off the ball. And certain players, I mean, okay, Alcaraz does that. Maybe people have said here Merlin Roll's done it better. But you know what? Can you see what I'm trying to say? That more cohesive. Okay, he's run into this space. I'm going to be chasing this guy up. We've got to shift the line here, close this channel. You get me?
Yeah, he's being setting a lot more of an example to the rest of the squad. His work rate seems to be like greater than everyone. They put the stats up after the game. He ran nearly 11 kilometers. They put Barry's up then. Obviously, he's playing up front, so slightly different role. But he ran 10 kilometers and still had a decent game. But it just shows you if he's running a whole kilometer more than the other player. Yeah,
and he only played 80 minutes as well.
But yeah, and remember he's one booking away from getting banned, so he's got that on his back as well.
But when
So
does that get wiped clear?
I think maybe
Who's
after
that,
this
Garner?
game, yeah, all three
That's
players
done now. I think I'm
they got
pretty
through
sure,
it.
that this is the game now. He's on 19 games,
Yeah, because
isn't it
it's
now?
halfway through the season, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 19
So
games.
that's that. I think, like you said there, he's played certainly some proper strong challenges, brilliant defensive work, and yet he's done that all while trying to avoid getting another booking, and he's not even looked close to getting a booking at all.
Yeah,
He looks so composed.
just read the game, hasn't
He just needs to keep this up. Look, the level that he's shown today doesn't need to be the level every single game, because he's been 9 out of 10.
Yes, it does.
I think you can now. I think you can drop a level for on it consistently, but he needs to be having these games every 2 or 3 games, every 3 or 4 games. He needs to be having at least one of these a month.
The thing is that what makes it
a similar quality level.
What makes it 9 or 10 out of 10 in these games is the fact that he got an assist and a goal. You know, it's that decisive moments and actions, but he won't do that every game. So I get what you're saying. If he does the rest of the work to a solid 7, 8 out of 10 every game, that's a really important cog in the side. But he does have to contribute more because he's well capable of it.
And hopefully this is so. I said at the start of the season, when we got Dewsbury Hall in, that maybe we'll play Dewsbury Hall, just a kind of gay, and then it'll allow James Garner to sit a little bit deeper, and it allows him to have that more of a quarterback. Number 6, just like to get the ball. He's the one in front of the behind the midfield. Every time he steps forward. What I mean is, he's the one who steps there, and every time he steps forward, the midfield steps forward. And I feel like, although the formation's still different, he's doing that, and he's doing it in a way where when Gay comes in, he can chase the ball, or Eric Boonham can chase the ball and do the more expansive side of things. And he's the one who controls the tempo from back. Whether he has to drop deeper than the centre backs, or whether he pushes that midfield line up, he's the guy who controls it. And I think, again, he's showing his leadership skills there. And I think it's potential. I mean, look, we're going to need to tie him down to a contract. He's got at most 18 months left on his contract, hasn't he? 6 to the end of this season and the 1-year extension. But if he keeps playing like that and uses this as a springboard to get better, to improve, and to show that leadership, because one thing we are lacking is we still lacking leaders in the team. Pickford is, Tarkowski is, although he's getting on. We've got Braithwaite, who's somewhat of a leader, he'll move into that role if he stays. But then we're missing general leaders all over the gaff. And I think having someone like that, especially further up the field, because most of our leaders are defensive, having someone a bit further up the field, it's fantastic for the team. For when there's games like this where we are, I wouldn't say the mire, but we're stretching our resources. We've lost a lot of players, and he's the one who drags everything forward. Defensively, does the hard stuff and pushes everyone a little bit more going forward.
It was good to see. Oh, sorry. You were going to say, Basil?
I was just going to finish off on the Garner thing and just say I think the biggest testament to Garner in this match was that Moyes left him in central midfield in that deep lying holding midfield. That when Patterson came off, obviously fitness and not played as many minutes in the last few months, and he put Roll there, you'd just think like normally you'd put in Garner, wouldn't you? Because he played left and right. The fact he was having such an effective game in the middle and protecting, screening the back line, he just couldn't be moved. And that's what he's got to do for himself if he wants to play in his preferred position. He has to keep those sorts of levels and force Moyes to find other solutions around it. I think it's worth talking a little bit about Dibbling and Roll at some point, but maybe we can leave that because they obviously got their first sort of Dibbling started the other day as well, but Roll's first start and Dibbling's coming a bit more into the scene.
I agree with you, mate, because again, at the start.
Oh, terrible signal there in Times Square.
By the way, boys, I apologise if I'm interrupting you. I really don't mean to, but I think my signal's absolutely. Yeah, my signal's absolutely terrible all this far over the Atlantic. Well done for being able to pick that up, by the way, like that's like 12 megabit pixel. Like, and there's about square inch of being able to see what's going on.
What can I say? I know an iconic sight when I see one. And a 2-0 victory for Everton with a Barry goal is just.
Well, yeah, I do apologise if I cut any ears off. Makes me just absolutely garbage. Is
it 4-0 now?
Yeah, bloody hell. But
It's
I'm like
4-0
you, boys. Looks like a good game now.
I thought Arsenal and
I'm on the
Villa,
last
that must be a tight game, wasn't it? They're really laying
0-0,
down a
wasn't
mark.
it? Bloody hell.
Oh,
Actually, there's a little gander there. So go on then, mate. Let's talk about Tyler Dibblin then. Obviously we've waxed lyrical about Garner, but let's talk about Tyler
yeah.
Dibblin on that, right? The last game against Burnley, I thought he done well. Today, even more so, like his ability on the ball. He's like Njai in the way he's able to keep the ball. He's quite quick with the ball at his feet. He just needs a little bit more pace. He needs to be a little bit more direct. But the improvements when he come on against when he played against Burnley the other day compared to his previous one when he come on against Chelsea was an improvement. Chelsea was an improvement on his previous one, and this was an improvement on that. So we're seeing steady, gradual improvement from him every time he's playing games at the moment, isn't he? And I think, like Flasher said again, his first 90 minutes for us, starting a game, playing a full one, I think he's only going to get better. Hopefully he doesn't. We can see him becoming a more integral part of the team, and hopefully he gets, even when Njai does come back, he gets more game time.
Yeah, he's learning from Grealish and Ndiaye, and you can see little traits from both the players and the way he shifts and moves and everything. And today, I think his confidence showed that from the other day. He had a good game the other day. Confidence built on it. Today, he was taking people on, but he also was working quite hard, tracking back. He occasionally loses concentration for players back post and stuff, but generally he'll track back and try and make it 2v2 down the side. So I thought he's growing into it. So there's promising signs, isn't it?
It is. We just maybe hope that if we'd have played him more and more earlier on the season, would he be even more ready by now? But hey ho.
No, I did. Honestly, I might have disagreed with not playing him entirely, but to see how he plays and to know that he might not have the support around him, not having an established right back, it's going to set himself up. It would be setting him up for failure, I think, not to give him the right support and to know that, okay, at least behind the scenes, he's had an opportunity to gel with the team now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because if you play him when he's not got that kind of that gel and a fullback who's really going to support him, he's isolated. He's going to look worse. His confidence is going to be shot, and he's wrapping him up in cotton wool a little bit. I guess is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean you can understand it because the last thing he really wanted was to throw him in to alienate established players like McNeil, etc., and then to not give him the cover when we don't know what's been going on with Patterson. O'Brien's been at right back. We've not had an established, there's just been no established spine of the team. So essentially, if you're going to throw a young lad in who's meant to be like a marquee signing, the biggest one we made, bloody hell, that's hot. It's just going to set the guy up to fail. If you're going to put him in a team that's just falling apart, as it was, I can understand the delay, and as it's reaped rewards. He looks like a cultivated player that's capable of playing the 90 minutes. He didn't fade from the game, which may have been an issue.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you have to give a bit of credit that in some ways of holding him back a bit and not play. I know it's frustrating not to see him on the pitch. You pay that much money, but if he comes on and he doesn't have great games, and he didn't have a great game against Palace when he did get a chance early on to his career at Everton, the fans would be all over him, and it would just knock his confidence. He's not exactly a confident sort of charismatic character, from what I understand. So I think he's done well to bide his time, embed him into training, and now he's getting into it when he knows he is going to be the player playing well, and Dyer's out. So I think it's worked quite well overall.
Yeah,
well, that was my thinking in that why he's been delayed. Sorry.
No, sorry, mate. You carry on.
No, that was it. That was just my thinking in why we've seen his introduction into the starting 11 being a bit delayed.
Yeah. And he had a right back today.
To an extent. I mean, Patterson didn't look great early on. He grew into it a little bit more.
You do not like him, do you? Come on, Corey. Let's just call a spade a spade. You do not like the guy, do you?
Me, I'm one of the ones who stuck up for Patterson quite a bit. I haven't stuck up
mean you like him.
No,
Doesn't mean
I
you
like
like him.
Patterson. I like Patterson. I just don't think, and I was going up until the end of last season. I'd still give him a go, and it's just not happening for him. But look, he might find his feet again. I think part of it is mismanagement from Everton over the past couple of seasons, injuries. But I think the lad just needs to go somewhere a little slower, Spain or Italy. If he goes to Italy and just gets his mojo back, then I think it'll do him the world of good. I just don't think his future's at Everton. Could do with Calvert-Lewin. I like Calvert-Lewin, but it was time for him to go, and look what he's doing.
Does it make it, when there are so many players that this happens to, does it not make you wonder if the common denominator is Everton?
Maybe lately. Previously, when that happens, no, because I think it's a case of there's pros and cons of success stories and not success stories. But in recent times, yeah, because of how poorly we've been managed and run.
Well, I hope he comes good.
Well, today he kept a clean sheet in that back line, and he did quite well
He did,
considering
but
he got
rinsed. He got rinsed a few times, but then again,
did get
he's
skinned a
against
couple of times. Yeah,
rapid wingers. And he always struggles against that. So I mean, look, while I don't want him to have to come on all the time, and I'd rather us get as a right back as soon as the window opens. He's going to be our forever right back, as they say. But if he has to play and he keeps it up, look, the more the merrier. It'd be great to have a ready-made backup right back, even if someone to push. But personally, I think he just needs time away because he needs somewhere slower while he gets his confidence back. His mojo, baby.
I get you. You've supported him. You like him, all this kind of stuff. But it still sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, look, mate. I love me nan. I love me nan, but if she's playing football for Everton, I'd say she probably needs to move to Spain as well. And I love me nan, my nan's boss. You, Christine.
So Merlin Roll. I've seen a few comments talking about preferring him over Alcaraz, but he's a different sort of player, isn't he? He's more of a utility player. He's more of a physical presence. He gets his foot in. He shows moments without actually looking too convincing right now, I'd say. But Alcaraz is more of a threat, I would say, in around the box with getting the ball around the box and having shooting opportunities. Roll is more gonna do you a job, and he adds that physical presence. I thought as a team today we worked really hard and we had 11 physical outputs on the pitch, which was important in this away game. I think.
Yeah, Merlin Roll, he does a lot more work off the ball than Alcaraz does. Alcaraz wants to be on the ball all the time and proper number 10, gets the ball, plays it off as a shot. Merlin Roll is a bit more off the ball. And I think he's quite direct.
Compare their skills. But Merlin Roll, as you've just were about to say, Alcaraz is very much more a Cahill, and Merlin Roll is more like an Andre Gomez. Or you see what I'm saying?
If I was going to say compared to anyone, I would say he's more like a Fellaini.
He's Fellaini.
He's not big like him. Yeah, he's not big like him, but the way Fellaini used to play, where he'd be quite physical, he'd get the ball, he'd lay it off, and then do his work off the ball. He'd be quite direct in them regards. He took it wrong. He can work at any of the midfield third, but he's not the kind of guy who's going to get the ball, drag along, and lay a pass off. He will get the ball, lay it off, and then look to progress the game a lot more forward. I do think
running behind.
I don't think it was his greatest game. I'm going to go out on a physical.
I'm going to go out on a limb though, because we at least I had the benefit of having seen James Garner play a little bit prior to his arrival at Everton. But Merlin Roll does have a certain grace about his play that I think might stand us in good stead if he gets a decent run of form and establishes himself into the team. I think he'll be one to watch and to be someone that might be fundamental in our future. You know, Jack Grealish, we might sign him, but you know, as he's getting older, and there's certain players we might think, oh, this and that, but you have to start thinking of the future. And we've got Asnu, if we hold on to him, Merlin Roll, you know, and Jai can hopefully stay for a few years. James Garner, you've got some of these players, O'Brien, Branthwaite, that really need to build the team around them, and to an extent, Moyes did that in the past, and it seems as if he might be doing that again at Everton to build a decent conveyor belt, because at least then, we recycle players. Or, we got a player out and another one came in. Joseph Yobo, Jagielka. You know what I'm trying to get at?
And they'd always come in around 6 months to a year before the other one would leave. You know what I mean? So we'd always time it really well that we wouldn't be missing. And that'd be partly because of the Moyes and his responsibility within the club. We need to get back to that. And hopefully that's what we're doing. We're having a couple of players in for the same position. When one leaves, the other one comes in. Because again, I think once Röhler's more up to speed with the pace of the league, and especially with his fitness issues, he's going to look He's going to look great. He's going to be. I think he's going to do really, really well for us. I don't think he's going to be world class or world beater, but he's going to be. I think he'll be the kind of player that fans really, really enjoy to watch, and he'll have important moments.
His position's yet to be kind of identified. I mean, it's very early days for him in the Everton side. He's only made a couple of sub appearances before today. But yeah, it's interesting the parallels with Fellaini, because you can see he could play deep and you can see he could play up in the strike. And you used to have this with Fellaini. Like, is he a holding deep midfielder, or is he an attacking, almost like a centre forward with his height and presence? Because he has that physical attributes, and as you said, he's got this sort of grace about him, and he kind of gets his arms and kind of doesn't let anyone get near him. And I like the way he bursts past players. So when he plays deeper, I'd rather see him slightly deeper. Plays the ball off and makes that overlapping run in behind into space. You don't often see your centre mids doing that, busting a gut to get to move to get the passing game flowing.
Yeah, and like you're right. Like I said, not most of his work, but a lot of his best work comes off the ball. Once he lets that ball run, and he's direct, and he wants to get forward, and he wants to create that support. That's how he really affects the game, either by putting himself in the position or creating open spaces for other players to move into, because he's taking up that. And again, that's one thing that we massively miss, is players being able to getting players in the box and creating space for the striker. The amount of times it's just Sienna Barry or Beto or Calvert-Lewin in the box with 3 or 4 defenders around him has been a massive issue for us, not getting major chances. But with players like Miller and Rowe, who will go into them positions, who will bomb forward, I think it'll allow for more opportunity and more chances, or more clear-cut chances for the strikers, which they've probably missed and they'll appreciate more.
Just on a totally different note, it is approaching the final minutes at Old Trafford.
Is it still 1-1?
It is 1-1.
Our boss at United, mate, that they just, like, even when they're on good form, they just give points to Wolves. Which, by the way, that doesn't get us off the hook, because we are the only team that Wolves have beat this season. Just to bring everyone down a little bit. The only team Wolves have beat this season.
In the cup.
In the cup. Still in the cup, but the only team we beat this season.
Oh, that's good. Oh, they've scored. No, they haven't. Sorry, that was comical. Aston Villa nearly scored. It was like it came off. He should have scored twice, 3 times. It just kept bouncing off the keeper, bouncing off the post. It's 4-0 at the Emirates, and it's nearly over there. So that's a marker on the title. And as Ryan says, it's probably for the best. It keeps Liverpool further away from that first position for as long as possible.
So there's a 4-0 win going on there between 2 teams at the top of the table, and I'm sat here with you two ugly bastards.
I don't know what to tell you.
That I'm making poor life choices.
Well, I think a lot of Evertonians want to soak in this win that is unexpected, and enjoy discussing about some of these players. And
yeah, in fact, shall we?
Is match of the day on today?
You want to watch it now? Yeah, you didn't want to watch the other night. Ryan wants us to
watch.
Talk about Jake and Big Jake and Tarky. Is that a better centre back?
Why doesn't Ryan just join us?
Tonsillitis. Like an echo in here.
Brian's got tonsillitis. He's out of action.
Yeah, he's a
Thank you very much, Dr.
non-speaking
Quinn.
one. He can do sign language.
We'll get on closed caption. Yeah, I mean, what do we think? As Jake O'Brien maybe put a case forward that even if Michael Keane comes back before Jared Branthwaite, that you'd choose O'Brien over him, or would O'Brien go to right back, Keane back into centre back? Pick up then, sorry. Ideas, Basil, Jan?
Yeah, Jan. Dude.
Villa have got a goal.
Yeah, 4-1.
I don't really. Nothing to say. Sorry.
Do you want to come on?
No,
I think Moyes.
I was
will
too busy
play
watching the
O'Brien.
other game. Sorry.
He's watching this lovely footwork from Marlon. I think Moyes will stick O'Brien at right back again because that's what I see happening. But I think if Branthwaite's back shortly, as in this week, this is a good chance to get him some minutes, isn't it, against Sunderland in the cup, where they've got players out, and it's not such a competitive. Well, it will be a very competitive game, but it's not a Premier League game, so I think that's a good chance to get him in, and then let's take it from there.
12 o'clock kickoff as well. It'll be like the most sleepiest game anyone's ever been to. It'd be played at walking pace, like fat man's football.
What on earth is the 4th?
Yeah, the 4th is the next game, Brentford.
Yeah.
All the games always come when our squad is most depleted and at its worst.
And do you know what, mate? That's one of the best things about this game, and maybe not the Burnley game because it was still poor, but we've got 4 points there with no Branthwaite, missing 2 centre backs basically. We've not really got a right back. We've got
what you said about Wolves before is we're playing Wolves, and the week and before they play us, they're playing West Ham, and they get an extra day.
Who do Wolves do?
Yeah. Just thought you'd like to know that. Just another little thing of another example, and I've been banging on about it for years because it keeps happening. Everton ridiculously, the fixtures and the time space in between the fixtures always, like on the balance of it, always heavily favours or penalises us. Our opponents always have more time to prepare than we do. It's ridiculous.
Is it Tuesday, Wolves game?
Well, Wolves play West Ham on Saturday the 3rd. They're at home.
Oh, and we're Sunday.
Right, is what I'm saying. And we play on Sunday, Brentford. So the point being, like, there's so many little times when the teams that we play that are down the bottom have just had a relatively not as tough game. That's not, because I'm just going to sound like a weirdo. Just because I
mean, if we want to get into this whole thing, I mean, Unai Emery was complaining. I don't know if you saw that. He said, "Why are we playing Villa? Why are Villa playing Arsenal again when we've not even finished the first half of the season, played all 19 opponents?" And he has got a point. And the some of the teams have played in London. All their matches are London teams, and we've had 2 away games. And basically, there's like half the league have played 2 away games, and half the league have had it at home and not had to travel. So,
and that's like massively, like, just unfair, isn't it? Like, there's a complete lack of equity there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I think we just come to accept it. Oh, expect it, not accept it.
Anyway, it's nice to go into a run of home games now. Hang on, the next game is a home game.
3 home games.
Oh yeah. It's nice to have points on the board, to have solidified our position, at least in that mid-table bunch, not to be trying to scrabble for it, because we're on the same number of points as Sunderland who were flying high, and really realistically, we play Man United with a couple of games. We could be getting up to the contending for Europe. What's going on?
It's
I
just so
mean,
tight.
this is the thing. If we take into account, right, so if we'd have got the penalty against Arsenal, which we should have, and we'd have got the penalty against Burnley, which we should have, we would have been fifth in the league above Chelsea and United and Sunderland. So, but what I would say is there's times when we weren't getting these results last season. Like them decisions, we're getting them decisions against us last season, and we thought it's going to affect us getting relegated. Now, but these things are happening against us, and while we're still furious, they're not having the stinging effects because we can. The next game we'll just dust ourselves off, and it's not a case of them 3 points or that point we could have got there are not going to be our only points or 3 points for a long period of time. Now, yeah, we're fuming that we didn't get it a couple of days ago. But now with the mindset changing because we've just won another game. But we're going to go to Brentford and we're going to think we should beat them.
That 9
we're going to go to Wolves and we're going to think we should beat them.
It's crazy though that 9 teams are separated by like 5 points. And there really is.
It's a beauty of the Premier League, isn't it? Though.
But what I'm saying, yeah, but I don't think it's a false dawn. It's not sudden equity. We're going to see a stabilization of teams and all this kind of stuff. There's been a few upsets and there's been some ending of dynasties. But what I will say is for this season is I wouldn't be surprised if anything could really happen. Everton could, in theory, a couple of run of games where we're sat here complaining and there's 5 games to go and we're not in a relegation battle, but we could be finishing 14th. Equally, a good couple of games and things go in our favour and we could be finishing 6th. Do you see what I'm saying? I think just when you look at what's going on at the moment, it could easily go either way.
Yeah, I think it's a case of at this moment in time, it can go either way. We shouldn't be getting too over the top. Savor it, enjoy it, take the positivity into every game because that's great. But we shouldn't be getting too over the top, and adversely, we shouldn't be getting too negative either. If we have a bad couple of games, I mean, we've had 3 games without a win in terms of Chelsea. We played all right. Arsenal, we gave them a good game, and the Burnley one was a disappointment. So it shouldn't be Moyes out. It shouldn't be Moyes Sire. He's doing a brilliant job. Improvement from last season is absolutely exceptional. It's night and day. But I think it's just one of them. Everyone should keep the heads regardless of what happens. But we're Evertonians, so that's not going to happen.
Sorry, lads. I've really got a dash short. Can I leave you to finish it? Thank you very much, everyone.
That is perfectly fine, my mate.
Yeah.
Dan, have a good evening, mate. It's boss speaking to you. Bye.
Thanks.
As soon as the Arsenal Wolves game finished.
Yeah, he's abandoned it. Arsenal finished. I wonder what he's off to. He's off to review the table.
So, we've spoken about the defenders. We've spoken about Diblin. Fantastic. It's good to see Barry get a goal. One player we've not spoke about, who I thought was fantastic as well today, was Tim Boonham.
Let's take over from you, Basil.
No.
I thought you might mention them.
Yeah, mate, I thought he was brilliant defensively. Just a couple of good slide tackles. But what he done really well today as well is he protected the ball well. He'd win fouls and he'd turn around and he'd break through the midfield. He's becoming a lot more physical, isn't he? I think that's going to help him really adapt and become more of a mainstay in the Everton team and perform better in the Premier League is the way he's adapting more physically now.
Yeah, another one who's showing really good attributes. Young player, physical player, can certainly beat a man, can take it past. He was brought in as a sort of stopgap Amadou Onana replacement, but he does have some of those traits, albeit not as developed, but the ability to get past a man, to put in a slide tackle, to cover ground. He's just learning his trade a little bit, isn't he? And as you sort of said at the start of the stream, having Garner play the slightly deeper role with the 2 in front, I think we started in a more of a 4. It was almost like a 3 in midfield with Garner deeper and the 2 of them ahead. Let them just be the energy in the box to box. And then it developed into more of a pivot with role, almost like 4-4-1-1. But he can do multiple roles, and he can cover a lot of ground. So another promising performance from him, isn't it?
That's it. And we've said previously that a lot of the time players come in out of necessity, and that's when it's make or break, and that's when you find that's where you really find your golden nuggets. Sometimes it's maybe not from managers making decisions; it's managers their hand being forced, and that's what it looks like we're maybe seeing now with Eric Boonham getting more and more game time. Obviously, I don't think anyone would have expected to get as much game time as he had after the Newcastle game. But with Jesse Garner Gay going off, no Dewsbury Hall, he's got more, and I think he's improving more and more again. He's shown his physicality, and if he just gets to play these games, gets more confidence, and maybe then is able to add that little bit more, that cutting edge, that bit more quality to his game. Again, we're gonna have by the come start of next season, Garner, Eric Boonham, hopefully Real, Dewsbury Hall, and Harrison Armstrong. We could have 5 for Alcaraz, makes you've got 6 exceptional players there for 3 positions, and that's what you want, 2 for each position.
Yeah. I mean, but that's it. I mean, they're never always fit, are they? That by this time in the season, this sort of midway through the season, there tends to be right at the start of the season you have most of your players fit, and then at the end of the season you seem to get all the players fit. But we need competition. We need squad depth. And it's good to see we have a bit of that in there. I know people have called for another midfielder in there, but maybe that's not really the priority.
I don't think so. I think if Garner continues in the form that he's having, then I think that would hopefully reduce the need to spend 30 odd million on a central midfielder. Let's be honest, the most important one for me is probably going to be a fullback, right back at the very, very least, number 1. Probably could do with a left back.
Ashley didn't even get off the bench today, even though he got stripped down and rested.
Yeah. I was gutted. I just wanted to come on just to get some game time. Like sometimes you just need that little 1 minute, and then it pushes you up a little bit more. I just wanted him to get on. So I think we need a right back. I think the most important thing is a right back. We definitely need a left back as well. And then I think we could do with another winger. If we get rid of McNeil, I know we got an assist today, but he done very little else. But I'd say if we got another winger, someone who's actually rapid. Obviously, we're linked to Brennan Johnson from Spurs at the moment. He's apparently he's close to agreeing with Palace, but nothing set in stone. The rumours that he was a boyhood Everton fan as well. If you remember that when he was at Forest, apparently he's an Evertonian. So maybe that would give us some sway. Is he someone that you'd take? Do you reckon that's a position that we need to be spending 35 million on? Is another winger when Diblin played so well?
I think it's a bit much. I think it's a bit much when I'm quoted 35 million for him, because I don't think his consistency is that high to be paying that much. His output. Thinking back to his Spurs days, and I think he was a bit hit and miss. Obviously, he was a threat sometimes, and then just not getting that consistency, and he can't get in their team. So I probably wouldn't be looking to spend that much money right now. I'd be looking at the right back position, as you said. And I'd want another left back. Ryan just said Makalenko had a good game. He did have a good game. He was solid, and he didn't need to do too much going forward because we were playing on the counter attack. But when we need an overlapping winger to help Grealish, who wasn't playing for most of the game, we do need that other option.
I'll put my
You'll put your comments on.
What I want to say is that
was that Ryan actually in the background?
Yeah,
like the omnipotent God that he is. The Lord that follow Everton.
Say this: when Mikalenko has to tuck in as like the centre back, he does really well. But when he has to go and defend 1v1 wide and attack and get forward, he's not good. That's why you need someone like Robinson from Fulham in those home games when you have to break a team down, and then you need Mikalenko in an away game like this.
Can you hear that?
I did. I heard it from the God of follow Everton. I heard him talking to us from above.
I mean, he does speak sense, to be fair.
Sometimes.
Well, with what he's just said, he's
no. I agree. I completely agree that he's good defensively, but we need someone going forward. And I think maybe most of us were hoping that Asnu would be that guy, given a bit more freedom, but clearly not up to it physically at the moment in the Premier League.
You can't. The McNeil as well. I mean, it'd be discrediting to say that he had a really poor game. He didn't have a great game, but that one moment of putting a through ball through when it was still 0-0, an excellent bit of quality. But he's doing that from a more central position, which I personally prefer him in there. I think he's adapted better to there because you can get your left foot and you can go both ways. He doesn't have the right foot, but he can spot things. But it's like his confidence, his physicality. It's like he's half there at the moment. I don't know what's up with him, but
Yeah, he's not physical.
he's
But
there in
I
waves.
think he's the kind of player who needs to be starting games. He's not the kind of player who can come halfway in the middle of the game and change it. I don't think he's just that kind of player because, again, he can have games and he can not do much in them. And I think this, to be honest, I think when he was at number 10 at the start of last season, his numbers were good. He was getting goals and assists. But as a team, we weren't doing fantastic. You know what I mean? And it's probably the same symptom as he's getting involved. He's involved in a goal also. But what does he bring to the balance of the team, which is a little bit off? I like McNeil as a person, but I even said when he was doing well last season is he's going to be a squad player. He should be a player that we'll get. He wouldn't be a player in a Moyes team after a year or two.
Yeah,
we'll probably see that come to fruition either this month or at the end of the season. Because if he's still here at the end of January, he won't be here in the summer.
I don't know. I don't know what sort of player if he is, whether he wants to sort of run around, go into other places. Maybe if Dyche came in for him, he would probably go. I can imagine. But if he doesn't get Dyche coming in for him, I don't know if he would. I think he might hold on. He's got his contract. He can be part of the squad. He's not a bad player to have around. He does have quality. It just doesn't seem to be a great fit with Moyes or with something. It's not the best fit. So
Yeah,
and it didn't really work under Lampard as well. So there's obviously something in there that when Dyche manages him, it gets the best out of him. So don't know how they did that.
I think you just limit the stuff that he has to do. I think when he's got a lot of space in front of him and he can play the ball there, he's okay because he's got the time and he's got the space to make that pass on his left foot or to shift it to his left foot. But when it's tight, when you're playing like Moyes wants you to do, it's a little bit quicker and a little bit shorter, a bit more fluid. Well, you can't just use your left foot. You've got to be able to let the ball roll to your right, let the ball roll to your weak foot, and then lay it off with that one. You can't be one-footed in that team. Whereas the Dyche one, they were very regimented, and once they were in that position, he had the space ahead of him to welly the ball to shift it onto a strong foot and then to go. So I think that's pretty much it. To be honest, that's how I see it with Dwight McNeil. He won't be able to play in a fluid system. He has to go in a very much low block counter-attacking team.
Yeah, I can't argue. So have you got any further points, or we're getting towards?
Talk about the match.
We didn't talk about the match, Ryan said, but
You talked about players.
yeah, we did talk about. I did feel like it was a player ratings video to some extent without the ratings, but right.
I think the game itself. I mean, I don't think it was a particularly great game. I think the result was great, and there was a lot of individual performances that were really good. But in terms of an actual performance, it wasn't like, look, we defended well. Like we said at the start of the video, we defended well. We were quite narrow. We were happy to let them have the ball and cross it in, and we were going to defend it. We were going to beat Forest at their own game and let them have the ball, so they're not confident and break them on the counter. But apart from that, there was very little to it. They had a lot of the ball, didn't do anything with it. We knew what was going to happen. It wasn't a great game in terms of the entertainment value, I don't think. But we had a lot of better performances today, whereas Burnley, we didn't have them individual performances, them shining bits coming through. And that's where, when you have a poor game like that, when you're missing a lot of players and you are trying to frustrate it, you rely on the players like Dibble, who's had a good game, Garner, who was exceptional, Boonham, they're the match winners, you know what I mean? So I don't think there was much there technically to go through. It was very much they had the ball, we let them have it. But again, it's showing that even when the game, the tactics aren't there or the game's not there, and you're not dominating, that we have got players who can make that difference. They can be the match winners.
Yeah, I don't know how much Ryan was actually paying attention, but we did cover all those things you said, and the fact that Everton only really created the chances for the goal meant wasn't a great deal.
I feel like you're saying this to Ryan in the channel.
But we there wasn't a great deal else that Everton created, but that was the fact is we did what we needed to do. We used moments of quality, and we talked about how Garner was influential on the game and almost the difference maker in terms of the finish and the creativity, and his influence. We didn't talk about all of Forest's near miss chances because there were so many of them that I can't even think of key ones. I remember one where he got down the left hand side, he should have cut in and scored, but we were already 2-0 up at that point. There's no point going over old rope. The fact is, we changed our approach a little bit in this game.
We played a low block. We let Forest have the ball. We waited them to make a mistake. We were pretty hopeless on the counter attack. Apart from the we scored. The first goal is a superb run. McNeil nowhere near his left hand side position. The second goal is James Garner individual skill. Barry using Zinchenko just stops and a great finish. And that's what he has to do week in, week out. But for some reason, only Forest give him any space to do anything. Garner could have scored two more goals. There was one where he blazed slightly over the bar. And but Forest had a lot of chances. You know, they still created a lot of chances, a lot of crosses, a lot of 1v1s. And then there was the one Pickford close in, and they were good Forest. They'll be all right, you know.
I think they'll survive. Obviously, it's gonna be Burnley, it's gonna be Wolves, and then it's between Leeds and West Ham who goes down. I do think it's gonna be close for Forest. I think if they go on a bad run of form, we know what Dyche is like. He's had a couple of good results, and when they go on a bad run of form, they'll go on a proper long barren spell. So I think they'll struggle, but I do think they stay up the season, which is a massive shame.
Yeah, I think you're totally right there. I think they've got a good quality team generally. Some good individuals in there. Douglas Luiz and Gibbs White and Hudson Odoi cause problems. They will, when they get Chris Wood back in the side, they'll score more goals. They will win some games. They've won 4 out of 10 the last 10 games before today. It's not like they're not picking up points. It's just they've been unlucky with the games against with the recent games against Fulham and City. But Everton obviously found a team that they like to play against this season and scored 5 goals against them, 1-2 games. You'd usually say once you win your home game against someone, if you go away, you might not win it. You know, it can be later in the season, and the same season you can have 2 different performances with 2 different 11s. It kind of felt like it was going to be that today because the team was so different. But with playing them only a few weeks ago, it just kind of seemed to be a continuation, really, of that took the confidence of winning that game 3-0 into this game. Even with the slightly different players, obviously it wasn't as easy. But I don't remember being at Hill Dickinson and we didn't wipe the floor with them in terms of our goals. They were set pieces, if I remember rightly, 2 of them. So we just continued that on.
Yeah, I think, and that's it, mate. Look, it was a fairly routine win. They had a lot more of the ball, but I think there was still good value for it. They had chances. I don't think, although the XG was quite high, I don't think I was at too many points. How are you, mate? At too many points, majorly concerned. I think it was a convincing, professional 2-0 win away from home against a team that we should beat based on.
A quarter of our goals this season have come against Sean Dyche.
There we go. That's why we love him.
That's why we're not scoring enough goals.
Wish we could play Sean Dyche every day.
Maybe we just buy the Brentford manager a ball cap and spray paint his face as his goatee orange for the next game and we'll smash him. Make him eat rocks.
Yeah. Who's going to be? When's that game, Ryan? That's
the
plugged
4th,
the next video.
4th Brentford, is it?
So the next video pre-match will probably be out on Friday, I imagine.
Yeah.
Don't know who's on that. Maybe Stevie might make an appearance. Ryan might make an appearance. But we'll be previewing that. And if you've enjoyed this, hopefully you have. If you're still here, there's quite a few hundred watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Just helps us. We're approaching the last minute of an hour, so I'll ask if you got any roundup questions.
They said Grealish
or statements.
He's not well enough.
I've got one more question, Basil. This has been bothering me, to be fair, for nearly an hour now. Are you wearing red?
Yeah, well, I didn't know I was coming on the stream. It's like a Christmassy jumper, and I was like, it's got blue and red and What else is it, Ryan? Like
Alexa Lounge light
a light blue and Ryan's
now blue.
Ryan telling me to get on the stream because he's got tonsillitis, so I had no choice. But yeah, I was a bit conscious of it, but I didn't want to say anything to Ryan.
Grealish was only on the bench out of desperation. He was ill.
Yeah, we can hear that.
Yeah.
That's what he
We had
said.
about
Right.
right. Should we leave it at that? Are you still there, Basil?
So, yeah, the internet. I don't know whose it was, but it's like I think you were just saying you're gonna we're just gonna round it up, right?
Yeah.
Just looking for the right. How do you close it off?
Thank you, everybody who's joined us. We
I'm on my
appreciate
phone,
it.
so it's not as
We hope
easy as
you
on the
all
computer.
had a lovely Christmas, had a lovely evening watching the Blues Tongue Forest, and we hope you all have a fantastic New Year. We'll
Have a
see
good
you in
New Year.
2026, which hopefully is going to be even better than 2025, and we make it into Europe.